This is the Hidden Killers podcast with Tony Bruschi.
Featuring author, psychologist, and daily contributor, Siobhan Scott.
Murder in the morning from the Hidden Killers podcast.
The shit doesn't end for Diddy. Another lawsuit against him. Civil lawsuit. And as you know, obviously, federal authorities have already gone and invaded his home and took everything that they want to take. And you're just going to keep seeing people come out of the woodwork over the next handful of weeks, months, years, really. This lawsuit against Diddy accuses his son, Christian Combs, of sexual assault on a chartered yacht trip. What I'm finding interesting about this is it's always labeled as chartered yacht or rented yacht. So are these yachts not Diddy's? Because he always kind of like made them out to be Diddy's, you know?
Well, yachts are millions and millions of dollars, and the guy is mortgaged to the hilt.
Well, the guy has planes as well. I would think he could get a yacht, but maybe these aren't so much his yachts, I guess. The lawsuit filed by Grace O'Marque alleges disturbing events that unfolded during what was marketed as a family excursion, but allegedly turned into a harrowing experience. I don't know how they market a yacht trip with Diddy as a family excursion, but okay.
Right.
Come with Diddy. We're going to watch Captain Kangaroo on the boat. According to the lawsuit filed in Los Angeles County Superior Court, O'Marque claims she was sexually assaulted by Christian Combs, son of the music mogul, while working on a chartered yacht trip towards the end of 2022. The suit paints a grim picture of an environment that devolved into an excess of debauchery, far removed from the wholesome outing it was purported to be. O'Marque, who worked as a steward on the yacht, alleges that she witnessed a continuous cycle of partying and drug use involving a rotation of celebrities and suspected sex workers. She alleges that the atmosphere became increasingly concerning when women exhibiting signs of distress after consuming what she believed was spiked drinks. And this all is in line with all of the other allegations that we've seen about this. This is when you can tell something is real, because everybody coming up with allegations all kind of line up together with the same sort of experiences over and over, and they're not necessarily connected. The lawsuit details the events leading up to the alleged assault, claiming that Christian Combs, heavily intoxicated, made unwelcome advances towards O'Marque, pursuing her to consume alcohol. O'Marque asserts that she felt the effects of the drink rapidly and suspected she'd been tampered with. As the situation escalated, O'Marque alleges that Christian Combs groped her and attempted to coerce her into performing sexual acts. The lawsuit includes audio recordings purportedly capturing the distressing encounter where O'Marque audibly declined Christian's advances. Following the alleged assault, O'Marque asserts that she suffered severe mental and physical repercussions, including anxiety, panic attacks, and seizures. Despite her complaints to the yacht's captain, she claims her allegations were not taken seriously, leading to further mistreatment and eventual termination from her job. Attorneys representing O'Marque emphasized her courage in coming forward and hoped that her story would encourage others to speak out against similar injustices. The lawsuit seeks unspecified damages for the harm inflicted upon O'Marque. Sean Combs, who has faced a barrage of similar allegations in recent times, denies the accusations against him and his son. Representatives for Christian and Sean Combs did not immediately respond to requests for comment on the latest lawsuit. But it seems par for the course.
Yeah, I was just going to say, is anybody surprised by this from two aspects? Number one, Diddy is involved, and everything that we've been hearing, granted he is innocent until proven guilty, but my goodness, is it stacking up against him?
At this point, you might as well say R. Kelly.
This is his son.
Yes. It's his son. And I was talking to this with Siobhan Scott today, which you'll hear the interview on our podcast this week, about what kind of mental effects are upon these kids. I mean, they're adults now. They're in their 20s and 30s. Mm-hmm. But at the same point, if this is the only world you've lived around, and that seems to be what it is for these adult children that have just kind of stayed there by Diddy's side and in his bubble, they have no sense of reality. They have no, I mean, Diddy should have more of a sense of reality because he's come from a world that all this wasn't there. These kids, this is all they know. They just know entitlement. They just know you can do whatever you want. They just know dad can do whatever he wants. And now I'm this age, I can do whatever I want too. And that seems to be allegedly, at least that's the assumption based on these accusations, that that's the world that they live in. And these are little fucking monsters. I mean, the only thing I can think of comparing it to is Osama bin, not Osama bin Laden. Why is his name escaping me right now? The former president of Saudi Arabia. Saddam Hussein. His children, who had the gold toilets, who had these chambers of just basically sexual excess and doing whatever they wanted because their dad was this powerful man. And they knew nothing other than that. And then they were shocked when they finally got, caught and then eventually blown apart, thank God. And, their pictures were eventually shown on television and their dead bodies were strewn across streets. And I'm totally cool with that. But it's like, if this is you've created demons, basically. These are not just monsters, they are demons. And they will never know anything different. If that's what you instilled in them for the last 30 years and they're in their 30s now, good luck getting them ever back to reality.
Well, and what is reality for these kids? Really? I mean, they grew up in this environment. This is what they know. Yeah. So somebody saying this is not okay, they don't get it. What do you mean it's not okay? The
best move any one of them can possibly make is to completely disown their father and go, oh my God, we were victims too. We apologize. This was horrible. We're willing to take our punishment for the shit that we did. But holy shit, please hear our story. This is not who we should be. And we need to change and we need to understand what life really is because we've been brainwashed our whole life. Because that's really what it is.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. So. Reading this story, I thought to myself, well, this kid doesn't know. He's not really a kid. He's an adult now, but he doesn't know any different. He's seen dad do these things with women.
Allegedly,
I wouldn't expect anything different from him, which sounds horrible.
I wouldn't either.
But that's how it goes. We grow up around our parents, and either we figure out we don't want to be like them, or we're just like them. There's really no in between.
How many kids does Diddy have? I'm going to Google that right now.
I want to say it's 7. But it's funny, when I was reading this story, and God help me, I'm going to bring up the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you remember back in, 17 years ago, there was a boat trip that the Minnesota Vikings, not like a sanctioned boat trip, but there were some players who went out on Lake Minnetonka in Minnesota on a yacht. And within 40 minutes of the boat leaving the dock, they came back because of the activities that had been taking place. That there were public sexual acts, drugs and drinking, and it was just horrific.
Yeah.
The yacht turned around and came back like, no, we're not doing this shit. We're done. And I mean, there was sex toy usage, there was oral sex, there was topless dancing. They had just left the dock and it was like, game on. Oh my God.
Money and power makes people think they can do these sort of things.
Exactly. But the captain was like, nope, not on my boat. We're done.
Good.
And I don't want to sit and blame the boat captain here on this yacht. It was Diddy, probably paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for this trip. But why didn't somebody go, I'm not okay with what's happening on this boat?
Because there's enough money to make you not turn around.
Ugh. Money talks.
Should you have? Yes, without a doubt. If you had more moral of a compass, you probably would have as well. But I think Diddy had a very tight circle of people who would do these things, who would do the yachts, who would do all this, that were so used to his behavior that they just, it wasn't like you're just, chartering something out of nowhere and you have no idea who the captain is and then good luck. I think he knew his circle. But the thing is that he's finding right now is his circle that he thought was so tight is quite weak. Yeah. They're all turning on him. They're all spilling their guts. because they don't want to spend they're not going to stand up for, they're not going to go to jail for the rest of their lives because of fucking Diddy. No, they're not. And Diddy, at the end of the day, is a very weak individual, a very sad individual, a very insecure individual that felt that he needed to do all these things to assert some sort of power over people. And everybody knew it the whole goddamn time. I mean, he's never been an image of power. He's always been kind of like, oh, you're the producer over there, and you're kind of like, he always tried to assert this power, but he never really had it at the end of the day. I really don't think he did. But enough people could get under his spell pretty quickly that didn't know better, and they would go along with whatever he wanted. He had the money to do it and to pay for it and to shut people up as well. And the thought process, I'm guessing, from a lot of people is, well, would you like to go through litigation for the next however many years, or can I just pay you right now what you would get if you sued me to shut the fuck up? And I think that's how Diddy lived his life for most of his existence.
And we're just at the tip of the iceberg here. We're going to learn a lot about his life.
Oh, my God. And I think we're going to learn a lot about other people's lives as well. Other celebrities, other people who were very close to him who also participated in the life of Diddy. And it's not going to be a pretty picture. There's going to be a lot of people going down in the next 365 days. And buckle up.
Want to listen ad-free? Want advanced access to all of our interviews before anyone else?
Become a True Crime Today Premium Plus subscriber on Apple Podcasts.
You get every episode commercial-free.
So you can binge on true crime
Until you can binge no more.
Search True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts now, or go to our podcast page and sign up now.
More of the Hidden Killers podcast next.
Sick of the ads?
We are too.
Start listening with no commercials now and get access to all of our episodes in advance of everyone else.
Become a True Crime Today Premium Plus subscriber on Apple Podcasts.
Search True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts, or go to our podcast page and sign up now.
True Crime Today Premium Plus.
Sign up now.